Okay, welcome back for the men's basketball portion of Media Day. We're going to have a little unusual opening to our Media Day today. Our men's basketball team would like to make a statement to address some of the national concerns going on with the national anthem and how they intend to approach it. They worked on this together. They've written a statement. We're going to have our four seniors come forward and read that statement to you. So at this time, Mike, Leo, Sean, Tyler, come on up.
You guys can all come behind us.
Yeah.
You go first. Come over here, Bernard. Ready? Whenever you're ready, Mike.
On behalf of Saluki men's basketball family, we would like to issue a statement.
In the light of recent events involving race relations in the United States, our team has placed an emphasis on understanding the sacrifice that men and women make every day for our country. After in-depth discussions with local law enforcement and Saluki alum and veteran Harvey Welch, we have decided as a team that we will stand and place our hand over our hearts during the national anthem.
We stand with our hand over our hearts for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner to show the utmost respect and gratitude to those who have served and continue to serve our country. We are forever indebted to the men and women who have given their lives in order for us to have the freedoms bestowed by the First Amendment. As racial injustice continues to be seen around America, it is clear that change is needed. We respect the right people have to protest, but believe the true way for change is coming together as a society.
Before every game, we walk past a quote by Rick Warren that says, "It's not about you." We choose to embody this not only by our play on the court, but also by our actions off of it. Thank you to our fans in the university and the community.
Thanks, guys. You can take a seat. You got name tags in the back. You'll have some chance to do one-on-one interviews with the players here in just a little bit. But well done, and we'll get with you in just a few minutes. Thanks. Okay, we have copies of that opening statement that I will be passing out. At this time, we're going to start our coaches portion of Media Day. Coach Hinson is going to make an opening statement. He'll take questions. And Coach, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Coach Hinson.
Hi, guys. Hey, thanks for coming to our Media Day, and I'm certainly excited. I'm going to address what these guys did. These guys did this on their own. This wasn't anything that we talked about. The seniors came up with this. I thought it was a very poignant statement. We've been for the last for the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've had guest speakers come in. We've had local law enforcement come in and talk to our guys. We had great discussion back and forth. And then we also had a former alum, as well as a basketball player in our program and a veteran that came in and shared his ideals and his thoughts. And certainly we wanted our guys, we had an open forum, an open discussion, and we wanted to make sure our guys all stood together. And I stand with these young men and their decisions. And I will tell you this, and I will tell you this now, I will always stand with our players. And these are difficult times in our society right now. We all know that. We know that it's a trying times, and we certainly wanted to make sure that we wanted you to know where we stand as a basketball unit. I can't tell you if it's right or wrong. I just know that's where we stand. All right, let's talk basketball. I've said this. I pulled in our group the other day on the very first day of practice, and I mean every word I said. I'm starting my 36th season as a basketball coach, and I cannot remember in 36 seasons that I've been this excited to start a year than I am this year. I know it sounds like a broken record every year, and the year that I cannot make that statement will be the year that I decide to get out of coaching. I am absolutely thrilled about this group of young men. I love our team chemistry. I like the potential that we have. I'm excited about our schedule. I'm excited about our fans because everywhere I go in this community, they seem to be exciting, and it's amazing. I think Al Davis had it right. Just win, baby. And 22 wins creates a little bit of a stir in your own community and a little bit of excitement. And that has been the prelude going into this season. So I'm going to open it up to you. I'm going to let you guys feel free to ask questions, and we'll go from there.
I want to ask you about some of your walk-ons. Krishan, what would he give you this year? Will he be helping you?
I'm gonna tell you about both of them. I think Krishan and Bernard. I think the one thing that we haven't had a really good run of luck here with walk-ons. And what walk-ons give us every single day in practice is they give us somebody that competes their tail off and makes us better. It's the most unheralded job possibly besides being a manager in a college athletic program. But at the same time, it's probably one of the most valuable positions that we have. You have to be a jack of all trades. You have to come every day to practice, to be excited to go, be ready to go. You cannot have a day off, and you can't have a bad day. So these guys, what they bring to us every day is an opportunity for us to get better. We didn't even get to the first game of the season last year before we lost both of our walk-ons. A lot of that had to do with how tough our preseason program was, but I'm proud to say that Bernard and Krishan, although they've not made it to the first game, I certainly would like to make a really bold prediction. I think they will make it to the first exhibition game. We'll wait to see if they make it to the first regular season game. I'm not going to be that bold. I'm just teasing. They'll make it.
Would Krishan help you defensively, perhaps? From the film I've seen, he looks like he's pretty good defensively.
Every day he gets out on the floor and, guards his tail off, but certainly he's helping us every day in practice. Yeah, I can see that.
Barry, you have some size, but it's generally guys that haven't played a lot for you. Teague and Rudy have talked about. How are you going to deal with playing undersized?
I think we've got size that can play. I think we've got Teague and Rudy and Austin Wire. We've got Jonathan Wiley and Sean O'Brien. We probably have the best, no question, it's the best collection of bigs that we've had since I've been here in 5 years. Not only is it the best collection of bigs, it's also a combination of guys that can finish around the basket, guys that can pass, dribble, and shoot, guys that are smart, guys that understand the game. I mean, Teague Bowl brings us something that we haven't had since I've been here. He can alter shots. He can block shots. He can finish around anything around the basket up in the air. He can run like a gazelle for about 2 minutes. He's extremely athletic, and I think the more he gets in shape. Austin Wire is a guy that, much like I would say a big is for Northern Iowa that can step out and shoot it, Rudy can do the same thing. Rudy probably, in all honesty, has as good a feel coming in from his experience and now in the last 2 years playing in the World Games and having an opportunity to play for his country, comes in with great feel. Jonathan Wiley had his best practice of the year 2 practices ago, and I went home just saying, boy, he's really going to help us. And I'll tell you right now, I think Sean O'Brien has a chance to be all-league player. I think Sean O'Brien is coming to his own. I think you're getting ready to see a different Sean O'Brien. This time last year, Sean O'Brien's on a treadmill. He's on a treadmill. He's not practicing full schedule, all that. Sean O'Brien hasn't missed a summer workout. He hasn't missed a practice. He feels better than he's ever felt, and he's being a leader every single day in practice. And so I'm really, Todd, I'm really excited about our bigs.
Barry, is the growth from freshman to sophomore year the biggest change amongst all 4 classes usually?
Now, I tell you, in my opinion, I think the biggest growth that you ever witness in a player is from his junior to senior year. It just blows my mind. Whether it's in high school, whether it's in college, it's never ceased to amaze me that when they become a junior to a senior, how much better they are as a senior player. I mean, it is just unheralded. Now, that's just been it's been its way for me, but I actually said that the other day. I was visiting with a group of boosters, and I just said, you're going to be blown away by our 4 seniors and how much better they are. I mean, if Tyler Smith-Peter rises up right now and shoots the 3, that's the shot we're looking for. Every time Leo Vincent shoots the ball, I think it's going in. I've already talked to and alluded about Sean O'Brien, and I think what Michael Rodriguez, and Michael's been out for 6 weeks, but I don't know of another guard in our league, maybe with the exception of Paris Lee, that's as fast from end to end, north to south, east to west, than Michael Rodriguez. And one of the byproducts with Michael being out for 6 weeks, he's really going to have fresh legs throughout the season. And it's hard because, his little body takes a beating throughout the season. And I look at this as a blessing in disguise. So I think all 4 of these seniors are going to really have a phenomenal year. I'm expecting it.
Did Michael just start practicing full?
Michael had his first practice 2 days ago, and we'll have his second practice today. We practiced 2 days ago at Carterville High School. We'll practice again today at Carterville High School, and Michael will go his second practice today. But he's been cleared.
Coach, can you talk about the senior leadership? I mean, you've just been talking about those 4 seniors, but what is it like to have those 4 being able to lead your teams?
MK, I've said this before, and I even think I told you this in studio one day. You're only as good as your seniors, and you're only good as your experience. And we have a combination of both. We have 2 seniors there that are coming from the junior college system. And I've always said this, a junior college player has a great opportunity his junior year, but his senior year, man, they really blossom. And Michael and Leo, I go back, I just think they're going to have a great year. Tyler and Sean, the most impressive thing I could tell you is these guys chose to come to SIU when it was not a popular choice to come to this institution. And they've stuck by it. They've stuck by the program. They actually committed themselves. I got tickled. I watched a video last night by Coach Edwards, the former Chiefs coach, and he was talking about you're either committed or you're interested. Tyler Smith-Peters and Sean O'Brien were committed to this program 4 years ago, and they're committed to this day. And I just think that speaks volumes. I want those 2, along with those 2 seniors, to go to postseason about as bad as I've ever wanted anything for a group of young men.
Could you guys talk a little bit about, you guys have a lot of guards on the team. Can you talk a little bit about how you plan on incorporating all of the guards?
Yeah. Nice glasses, by the way. Cool guys wear glasses like that. I just go ahead and throw that out there. So maybe me and you could get our picture taken together after this for Swag Magazine. I just learned that word, so I just wanted to make sure I turned it in today. I told somebody the other day I look bad. They said, Coach, if you look bad now, you really do look bad. Bad's not good now, it's bad. So I said, okay. What do I look? They said, swag. I said, okay. So I really appreciate your swag. You know what? How do you incorporate all the guards? Well, they incorporate themselves. We're going to play really fast this year. Now, kids may laugh when I say that, but we're going to play fast in full court. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to play a lot of guys. Our philosophy going in the season, if you're playing tired, then you're coming out on our court. But if you're playing tired, we'll get somebody in there fresh. We finally got a group of guys that we can make sure. Our practices have been more competitive than they've ever been since I've been here. And a lot of that has to do because we're recruiting better players. And when we go, there'll be, almost every day, the second unit or the divided unit, whatever you want to call it, comes up and beats the first unit. And, it's not uncharacteristic for that. We have great competition. But the dividing line comes down to those guys. So we have some guys that possibly will be candidates for redshirt. We have some guys that obviously are one guy that came in on a transfer that will obviously sit out a year. And but I like as much as I talked about the seniors and our bigs, I really like the potential of our guards. We scrimmaged the other day. The last segment of our scrimmage was all the guys that are coming back, and it was a 1-point game at the end of the quarter that we played. So I really like that.
Adding a guy like Wiley, what kind of effect will that have, the defensive length you have at some of the guard spots this year?
Well, I think one of the things that Jonathan does for us, as well as Austin and Rudy, is it gives us length and it gives us an opportunity to give Sean O'Brien maybe some rest. But don't ever think that we can't play Sean O'Brien and Austin, or Sean O'Brien and Rudy, or Sean O'Brien and Jonathan together. We feel like it really. Jonathan gives us a lot more flexibility. He's kind of that hybrid player that I've talked about in the past. But I think Jonathan's one of those guys right now that he's kind of rising to the top where he wants to be that guy that guards another team's good player. I mean, his defensive intensity has risen. I think that's our biggest challenge right now for our guards. Who's going to be the guard? Who's going to be the guard that actually is guarding the other team's best player? We were better defensively the other day when Mike Rodriguez got on the floor than we've been in a long time. He absolutely raised our defensive intensity. Mike will tell you, you can interview him after this, but Mike has come into this season with the philosophy that he wants to make us better defensively by what he does on the floor, and I think he's done that. I think you'll see that in Aaron Cook. Aaron Cook does a great job of guarding the basketball one-on-one in full court. That's one of the things that I was first intrigued about Aaron. Sean Lloyd has gotten better defensively. I think you'll see Sean Lloyd putting in some minutes this far as. Leo and Tyler have certainly improved defensively, but we want them to get better. We got to get to the point where we're aggressive just like everybody else has been in the league. And we're a long ways from there, but we definitely have the ability to be into that position.
So is Wiley an inside player for you, potentially, some of the time this year?
I think Jonathan has brought down the ball before at times. So I think Jonathan's a good player. So he's going to play. He can play a lot of spots. Sean O'Brien could play point guard for us this year some. So don't be surprised if you see those guys bringing the ball down the floor.
Barry, how do you go about replacing Anthony Bean? That's going to be the popular question.
Well, there have been two popular questions everywhere I go. Why are you so excited you've got a guy that transferred to another school and you lose 20 points a game? And we might as well just talk about the elephant in the room, and I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Everybody got an agreement? Everybody ready? Okay. We've got guys that are committed to this program, and that's why we're going to be better. How are we going to replace Anthony Bean? I don't know. It's hard to replace a guy that could go get 20 points a game and go beat guys off the dribble with one catch and go. But I will say this. I think collectively we can do that. We may not have that guy that can continually beat a guy or go get that last-second bucket, but we've got guys that can beat guys off the dribble and get other guys shots. This will be a different style of playing basketball team that we've had in the previous 4 years. I think you'll see that the ball will move more freely, more openly. I think our assist-to-turnover ratio it'll improve dramatically. And I think that you'll see that our guards are capable of scoring in different ways than what we've had in the past. We've really not had an opportunity to score off of what I consider a penetrate and pitch or penetrate and get it to somebody else. We've never had a big guy that we could come down the floor and throw it up and have a guy make a monstrous dunk. We've got that. And not just in Teague. Austin can do it. Rudy can do it. Jonathan can do it. Sean's as healthy as he can be. I don't know how much Sean's going to be high-flying and throwing back hammer dunks, but he certainly has got the capability. But we actually may run some alley-oop plays this year. I think you guys, you may be surprised. So we're kind of excited.
Will the schedule help you have a better team than last year as well, with who you guys play?
Well, I think certainly the one thing that the schedule's done, and I think our guys will tell you this. Let's quit talking about Louisville and Minnesota and Arkansas and U of L. How about we talk about Wright State, Murray State, St. Louis, SIUE that beat our butt here, a Mike Davis coach team from Texas Southern. The last time he was in this building was the head coach at Indiana. I told Mike Reese a few weeks ago on the radio show, I hope we have the same outcome that they had when they beat Indiana. But, everybody's putting an emphasis on the 4 teams that we're playing on the road. Nobody's talking about the 8 teams that we play at home. We, without question, have one of, if not the toughest schedule of all the teams in the Valley. But I think one thing that it's done, it's set off an alarm clock. We certainly reference everybody in practice every day. We'll have a reference to who we're playing and our season and our schedule. But I'll let our players answer it. But I think our players are more excited than anything. And I'll just tell you what Mike Rodriguez, when the schedule came out, because we didn't tell our guys. We never told our guys. We didn't tell our guys what we were doing until we released the schedule. Louisville was basically in the works for almost a year. We knew we were going to do that. But Michael Rodriguez, as soon as the schedule was released, texted me that and said, "Thank you, Coach, for my senior gift." I think he is, without question, one of the most excited about the schedule.
You say the offense will play a little bit faster. How about the defense? How will that change, or will it be any different than last year?
Well, yeah, I hope it's different because we were 10th in field goal percentage defense last year. So, yeah, I really think that and I think one of the things that will help is having a guy like Teague Bowl and the other bigs that we have. But the one thing is, last year when a guy penetrated, you got to remember we were in the top 3 in field goal percentage defense outside the arc. We did a great job of challenging and guarding the three-point shot. But where we really faltered was when we got around the basket, we had nobody that could alter shots or block shots. We've got guys that can do that right now. We've got guys. And I think because of our athleticism, and Todd brought up earlier, our length overall, I do think we'll be better defensively.
We'll do a little bit more full court pressing or anything like that?
Well, I'm not going to give a scout report right here before we start season play, but we've certainly worked on everything. And I do think this. I think we'll have the flexibility to move more things than we've done in the past. That's a politically correct answer. Now, if you'll say something where I can go wrong, then I'll be feeling like I'm really good.
How much tougher is the Valley this season, or how has it changed since last year?
I think the Valley's the Valley, guys. That's the great thing about it. You can ask that question the next 5 years, and I'll be able to give you the same answer. I think it's I'm biased. I'm the dean of the league. I don't know if that's good or bad. It just says I'm getting old. But I love this conference. I think without argument, it is the best mid-major from top to bottom conference in the country. I look at everybody in the league this year. There's not one game that I look at and I say, I know fans are different, but there's not one game I look at and just say, yep, that's a win. There's none of those. There's none of those. Everybody from top to bottom is going to be improved. And I think a telltale sign for our program is I look for us to being picked anywhere from 3rd to 5th. I think we're going to be picked in the top half of the league. And I think that's a compliment to the young man behind you.
What's the best thing that Sean O'Brien does?
Well, I think the best thing that Sean O'Brien does is he's a player. You know, Todd, he has an unbelievable feel for the game, and he doesn't have an unselfish bone in his body. I say every day, you know, it's funny that when you say this a lot of times in practice, I'll say, I want the ball in Sean O'Brien's hands as much as possible. Play through Sean O'Brien. And a lot of times you'd have guys that would roll their eyes or do this, that. Our guys are excited to get the ball to Sean because they know if they get the ball to Sean, he's going to make the right play. The one challenge, and he's working on this, he really is, because it's kind of taking him out of his personality and his character, but he's really getting to the point where he's becoming a good leader. Michael's back on the floor right now. Guys miss defensive assignments or whatever. You know, Sean got on Rudy the other day, and it was probably one of the best telltale moments we had, and Rudy appreciated it, and our team appreciated it. Michael's going to be that guy. Leo and Tyler, we got to get them more into that role. They know this. I'm not saying anything these guys haven't heard before. But I think that when we get, and I'll go back with MK and what she asked, when you have 4 seniors that are committed like these guys are, I just think it makes for good basketball.
Coach, what are you most excited about for this season with this team? I mean, you've been talking about this team and how this is probably, you know, what you've been most excited, but like, what exactly about this season are you most excited about?
Well, I'm most excited. I'm going to give you 2 things, MK. I'm really excited right now because my daughter just got engaged, and that really excites me because it's the last one on the payroll, and that Craigslist ad finally paid off. But she's finally engaged, and she got her wedding dress today, which I forgot how much those wedding dresses cost us, by the way, but I had the dad moment there. So I'm really excited today regarding that because my daughter's engaged, and I like the guy. That's even a plus. But the excitement for this year is that everybody thinks we're not going to be that good because we lost a guy that transferred to a BCS program and a guy with 20 points a game, and I really enjoy being around these guys on a daily basis. Every day. I like being around these guys. I've never been we're getting ready to have our 13th practice today. I'm like every day, I come into practice every day like I've been on Mountain Dew and Skittles. I'm like a spider monkey. I'm ready to go. I mean, every day. And, you know, the kids aren't like that, but for the most part, they have been. Hopefully that answers your question.
Speaking of the players, we still have some time. They do have to go to practice in a little bit, so we want to save a little bit of time for one-on-one interviews. Any more questions for Coach before we change gears?
I have a quick question.
Come on in, Swag. Talk to me.
You guys recently had a vocal commitment from
Okay, I can. Yeah, I can't do a verbal commitment, but that's okay. That's okay. When you got swag, you can make mistakes, buddy.
The other elephant in the room, Barry, is you haven't played in the postseason yet. What do you need to do to get there this year?
It's not an elephant in my room. That's what we want to do, Todd. Let's go play postseason. It's not an elephant in my room. Not an elephant in their room. That's our goal. That's our next step. Darren asked me last year at the last show, I believe, and MK asked me when I was over in studio a couple of weeks ago, what's the next step for this program? The next step for this program is for us to be in postseason play. Last year it was to have a winning season, and we did. Next step for us is to postseason play. And I'm just going to tell you, our goal is to win a Missouri Valley Championship. That's what we want to do.
If you don't make the NIT or the NCAA tournament, will you play at one of the other ones?
Yes, if we're invited. So, but I don't make those decisions. But yeah, we have put ourselves in a position where we will be able to make that a positive commitment to our program. So we are anticipating, but Todd, we got a lot of games to go before we get an opportunity. I think the easiest thing to do is just to go win the tournament or win the Missouri Valley Championship, and let's go to the NCAA tournament, and let's take all that guessing. Because I'm not really a fan of the committee process. I think my record speaks for itself. I'd like to take it out of somebody's hands. All right, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate you. You can just do the statement. I'm not going to.
Yeah.